door. Say hello, Fifi Daddy, head to the bar. A fling, clocking on the kid. A riff, a rattle, a riff, rap, ribbon out with me. And when you get up for the fish, that's all. Say hello, Fifi Daddy, head to the bar.
And they might be have some empty spaces or openings or cancellations, and you can take your chances on an absolutely unique experience here at World War II weekend. I've done it. I will guarantee you, you will never forget the experience. You'll never forget where you were when you did it. You'll never forget what it felt like. So if you get that opportunity to get a ride in one of these aircraft, by all means, please do so. Interesting thing I've learned was we actually have people that come over from the UK and book up rides on aircraft, because this is kind of like they do a checkbox that I've ridden on this, ridden on that. The reason that they come here is because there's so many different aircraft, they can get it all done without traveling around the country to do so.
this actual thing.
Boxcar, Ohio. Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him we're parallel with the 429.
Too bad that third one didn't got crashed. I'm actually amazed the crew got alive out of that though. I can't wait till the 262 comes back. They still have a little few more bugs to work on with. The organization keeps going. They're working on the Stuka too.
the Self.
So they restored it with the original Juma engines, but they put like new electronics on it. They haven't been able to fly it outside of Washington State yet because they're still having some bugs. They can't take it across the country until they know it can fly.
Operate and own an antique vehicle such as these. There are people that are very, very dedicated to these things and really put lavish a lot of love and affection on them, and they are more than happy to talk to them. So coming up at 11 o'clock, this is just a free heads up for all of those who want to be in that parade today. And 11 o'clock will be the Military and Antique Vehicle Parade here at World War II weekend.
Thank you. Okay.
The national speed limit was 35 miles an hour. There was no interstate system at the time. And oh, by the way, you were actually turning your tires in and put your car up on blocks for the duration. So the idea was to get yourself some mode of transportation that would get you around. You could use the trolley or the bus, you carpool, you did whatever you needed to do to get to your Warworth factory. And a lot of times the bicycle and on military bases were very, very popular. Okay, next up in the line, up around the corner, just coming around the corner is the CCKW. That's known as the Tipper. And it's actually a dump truck. So you can use it for multiple things. You can actually put it full of troops and then fill it full of dirt and dump them out, or maybe you dump the troops out too. Oh, wait a minute, I don't think it's supposed to work that way. Hey, can you tip the bed? Show off a little bit, tip the bed up. Well, enough of that try. We tried.
Check out the ambulance, babe.
Back to the way they put it up. So enough of that nonsense. Okay, we got a Dodge command car once again. A derivative of the Power Wagon. Very useful piece of equipment. And oh, by the way, you'll probably see wandering around today. You'll see Harpo Mark wandering around. Don't be surprised what he does, because he does a lot of things but he never speaks. Oh, there goes the dipper. There we go. Just enough to not let all the stuff fly out the back, but just enough to show you what it does. We gotta keep the binders. Hey, take the choke off, buddy. That's a Plymouth trap car, which you cannot have yes or no. Pretty sure that's what we got again. Or thereabouts. One. And again, probably requisition everything from Packers to Plymouth, Chevy, to Oldsmobile. If it was printed in 1941, it was probably requisitioned and used by the military as a staff car. And it's a Ford M8. Ford, here we go. Ford being turned over from production for war production. So very high speed, maneuverable, what they call a QQ. It's got a very high propellant. It's got a 37 millimeter high velocity shell on there. You shoot the scoop, get out of there. Very used for reconnaissance work. Okay, more is really, okay, I can tell the difference from here, but I'm not going to try to show off, but they all look the same until you look closely, and there's enough subtle differences to tell the difference. If you ask a Willys owner, he will tell you he owns a Willys. If you ask a Ford owner and say, what kind of car is that, he will tell you it's a Ford. You know what? Both right. Okay, aircraft tug used by the Navy. These were very popular. Some of them were turned over as one surplus. I actually ran one of those at a steel mill in my misspent youth, and it performed very well at the time. Loved it. Here we go. We got a Ward LaFrance. Tow truck. This thing has done more good here in World War II to pull people out of a mess than we can ever possibly stand for. So, once again, another Dodge car. Half-ton Dodge. That looks like Lisa's best Dodge. More of those plugs, very handy. A lot of them use for aircraft tugs. They can pull small trailers. They can do just about anything you can imagine. Actually, the gray one is marked up in original RAF color. Taken from a Ford M20. Once again, we've got a Ford Greyhound. I have a Greyhound, so I know how fast those can go. Now we got a Jeep pulling a 75 millimeter pack howitzer. Very good to have. To get small artillery pieces up to the front lines as quickly as possible. There's Lisa Cessna Dodge. Hi, Lisa. Well, be that way. One more Jeep, and it appears to be a CCKW, ubiquitous Red Ball Express with CCKW. So you know what the average CCKW during the Red Ball Express was? About 15 miles. The average speed was about 15 miles an hour. We actually have a Navy three-wheeled bicycle used as a utility vehicle, and with a utility guy who was in the Navy on it, who has a tendency to find rustlers in airport ground, like literally did the flying traffic stack all on his own. So that's our military vehicle parade. Again, they're going to be stopping down on the main tarmac, and we're going to call this like a little mini car show. And they'll look for you. They'll tell you what it's like to own a military vehicle and how much fun it is to have one and work on one. And a lot of expertise goes on down there. And again, we thank them for bringing their military vehicles out for us for you to see today. And they're going to get parked for pretty much the rest of the afternoon. So this is your opportunity to see them at World War II weekend and appreciate the joy we bring to you as part of the experience for World War II weekend. Oh, really? We're going to open it back up. We'll take the taxiway back up. You're going to see a little more flying for our riders.
Oh, I thought I was going to hear that.
Our ground boss there said, yep, we're good to go. Thanks again for all your help. And how about a nice round of applause for the military vehicle owners? We appreciate you bringing it here today.
No, to your left.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. That's why I try to get your attention.
Okay. Darn, I need to change my lens.
Yeah, Fifi took out about an hour ago and came back.
Oh, really?
coordinator or anything like that, if you've got a problem, you call 911 right away. They are mapped in on us. They know where we are. They will find you, and they will get to you as quickly as they possibly can. We actually have services on site that can respond to those, but they will respond based on their coordination with 911. And ask first is, everybody's curious, everybody likes to play. Children are very inquisitive. We want to teach the children and educate them. But please ask before you touch anything, pick it up, fiddle with it, fool, or anything else that you do with a piece of equipment. 90% of the things that you see in front of you are all owned privately. They are antiques, and some of them are absolutely unreplaceable. You can damage an aircraft and literally put a pilot in jeopardy and or put his plane down for the rest of the weekend. So, a little bit of common courtesy. Ask first if you decide that you'd like to take a look at something a little closer or climb on it or whatever else. And I'm going to tell you that knowing a lot of the reenactors here, they'll probably give you a go-ahead to do so. Real quick review, and we're going to do a quiz later. Hydrate, sunscreen, no smoking, 9/11, and ask first. With all that said, we're going to put a little more music before on you. And get ready for the air show portion of our program. We're going to start kicking it off somewhere around noon. That's about 15 minutes from now. So get yourself all squared away and be ready for a lot of fun and excitement here at World War II weekend here at the Mid-Atlantic Air Museum.
I don't know when we'll go back to the truck for lunch, but yeah, no.
I don't know if I want to stay here with you.
Thank you.
You're fine. If need be, I'll just steal the videos off of him.
Alright, or just kick me in. One of the two. Yep.
Exactly. Not sure why it's there.
Say it, I'll say it again. I'm killing time. This time I'm going to do it for something good. Remember the words we used today? Could you tell me what they were? Okay, here we go, real quick. Hydrate, sunscreen, no smoking, 9/11, and ask first. It's going to be a quiz. Come on, I want good grades here. Eddie's going to ask you the same question when the air show part. Here goes the B25, he's cranking up, the 53's cranking up, we got radial engine, life's good.
Jump in here for just a moment.
No, you can't, but go ahead anyway.
Thank you, Ted. Just to let you know, for those of you wondering about the name Panchito there on the B-25, Panchito was one of the characters in the Disney movie, The Three Caballeros. How do I know this? because Disney has an exhibit at the National World War II Museum down in New Orleans. It's just there, awesome place to visit. And not only that, we want to give a plug for the Mid-Atlantic Air Museum. This is an awesome place to visit when it's not air show time. Believe me, you ought to swing by. They have an extensive collection of aircraft. And speaking of aircraft, don't forget that P51. We want to see this airplane fly, and she'll fly sooner with your support. Go down there, get a t-shirt, a hat, whatever you can do. Put a couple of bucks in the bin. Those two propellers that you see on the front of the Black Widow are courtesy of all of you. Thank you for your support, but we're not done. We still need it, so all we're asking is $1 or $2. Thank you so much.
We're done.
Fifi's behind you.
Yeah, it's gonna go around. Back there.
Way in the back.
Yesterday, I was at that hill and you could see a really nice view of her.
Yeah.
Across from over here.
Too bad the B-17s weren't able to come this year.
None?
They're all grounded until further notice.
Why?
FAA orders after the Dallas incident.
Oh my gosh.
One had a problem back in April until the FAA said grounded them all.
Really?
Yeah. And the B-24 was supposed to come, but that had mechanical trouble too.
Yeah, B-24 either.
Yeah.
No hell dive either.
Yeah, I remember I watched that video. That was very sad.
What was that one?
That happened last
In Texas?
yeah, it collided with Cobra.
Wait, what is that one? Babe, what is that called? What is the name called?
Good day. Good day. I bring you good news. Our front in Italy is progressing well. General Clark has contacted me and is expecting to take Rome within the next 2 to 3 days. I'm sorry I cannot spend time with you. I have briefings with a weatherman. Reading and Boyertown phone, General Carl Spot. It is always nice to be back here in Reading, Army Airfield, and visiting my family and friends in nearby Boyertown. Since the beginning of the war, we have made great progress in developing our strategic Army Air Forces. We have had many victories, and we've had a few defeats. But through it all, I can honestly say we have the best Air Force in the world. Our bombing campaign in Europe has made great progress in disrupting the flow of oil to the German war machine. The continued destruction of trains and rail yards has also been effective in shutting down their transportation systems. Our highly trained airmen are the best there is. The lethal combination of our bomber and fighter aircraft have been dominating the skies over Europe and beyond. Here on the home front, I am most proud of what the American people have accomplished. I marvel at their high morale and the achievements that our workforce has been able to produce. You have all sacrificed much, but if we all continue to work together, I know there is nothing that we cannot do. With God's help, victory will soon be ours. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, what I would like to do is I'd like to introduce you to the barbershop quartet that we have here at World War II weekend, and they go by 4Cat. Okay, and what we'd like to have here do with us today is I'm going to do my standard intro, and I'm also going to ask you to please rise, and please remove your cap. Any veterans or
Do it, and they did it with style, and they did it often. They even tried launching aircraft of this type off of ships using a special hook arrangement where they could come along and they could trap on board any kind of ship that had been modified with the trapeze arrangement. We're going to let you listen to them as they go by. As you can see, they're not very fast. They're powered by small 4-cylinder air-cooled engines. They're little flat pancake engines, we used to call them. They're now known as boxer engines. Up in our lead here in the L2M, we have Eric Radilla. He's our team lead. Followed by Tom McIntyre. Fred Fidelaro just went by with his airplane. And here the tail end Charlie. This is Joe Melanchak. The advantages of these aircraft out in the field were numerous. They did a lot of covert stuff. They are also out there to help save lives as well. Believe it or not, helicopters did exist toward the end of World War II, but they weren't really as perfected as they are today. So in their place, we used L-birds. Now there's a guy out there who got a lot of notoriety as an L-bird pilot. And I'm talking about Bazooka Charlie. Many of you have heard the story before, but this man was definitely motivated. What he did was he took his L4 and he put 3 bazookas under each wing. Now the bazooka, for those of you who don't know, is an electrically fired weapon. It's got batteries in it, which works out really terrific because all you got to do is figure out a way to attach these things, and then you run the wiring into the cockpit, put a bunch of switches in there, and the next thing you know, you're packing. He called his airplane Rosie the Rocketeer.
Oh, I always love those pinup girls.
And his battlefield exploits won him a variety of nicknames. Bazooka Charlie was one, the Mad Major another, and of course, Lucky Carpenter. In 1944, he was a major, arrived in France where his assignment was flying basically an L4, a Piper Cub, on reconnaissance missions in front of the 4th Armored Division of General George Patton's 3rd Army. Well, ignoring regulations against arming the tiny airplanes, Major Carpenter put bazookas on it and called his airplane Rosie the Rocketeer. Remember, the bazooka was actually a small RPG, rocket-propelled grenade, very effective at taking out tanks. So he sets his airplane up with this, and what does he do? He starts attacking German armor. He starts going after tanks. Well, he was threatened with court-martial, but General Patton himself heard about this and said, wait a minute, this guy's showing motivation above and beyond. General Patton not only stopped the disciplinary proceedings, but he awarded Major Carpenter, Bazooka Charlie, with a medal for bravery. The Army newspaper, Stars and Stripes, featured him and his exploits several times, as did papers as far-flung from the New York Sun to the London Times. He had mentioned that his idea of fighting a war was to attack, and then attack again. By the war's end, Bazooka Charlie had destroyed 6 German tanks. He also had participated in several ground fights. He'd land the airplane on the battlefield, grab his rifle, and join in with the ground troops. He also won a Silver Star, an Air Medal, and was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. Now, according to whatever source that you look at, by the end of the war, Bazooka Charlie, please, no smoking. Call 911 if you have a problem, and ask first before you start touching something. All of us here at Mid-Atlantic Air Museum definitely appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your L-Birds. How about giving them all a big wave? Here we go. They're waving back at us. Very cool. Very cool. They are two-seaters with some modifications made to make them more useful to the military team getting ready to go out. Here we go, on the takeoff roll. Here's PLACID LASSIE. Look at that. One's marked in American colors, the other is Canadian. The Canadians loved having that canopy on there because, as you know, it gets cold in Canada. Followed by the Stearman, otherwise known as the Yellow Peril. At the controls with a sloppy pilot. So when you were flying this airplane, the only time they said it was safe would be when it was on the ground and in the chocks. There goes the stamp going by Phil Feingold many years ago, featuring an inline 4-cylinder engine. It is one of the slower aircraft out there. Not that any of these airplanes are speed demons. You're gonna have to push it pretty good to break 100 miles an hour. But speed was never their purpose. The Fairchild aircraft were built right outside of Hagerstown, Maryland, as I recall, features a very complicated wooden wing. Fuselage, steel tube, but that wing is a lot of wood. And from what I understand, the center section is quite a lot of work if you happen to be in the process of restoring one. I've heard many horror stories. In the lead, we have Mark Tedeschi, followed by Tim Trimble, Christian Kapler, and Dick Smith flying that stomp out there. I believe that Neil Bachman is up there as well. Powered by a Continental radial engine, I believe it's an R670, about 220 horsepower on the steerings. The PT26s, it's a Ranger inverted inline 6-cylinder, also approximately 200 horsepower. All right, now it looks like our PT guys are going to set up for your photo passes. Get your cameras and camcorders ready. Here comes another PT26. This is Tim Trimble at the controls. Just put the power to it a little bit. This is Christian Kapler coming through. Let me verify that. It's a silver with a yellow tail, which it is. That's Neil Bachman. My bad. Now Christian Kapler is following him. Here we go. And last but not least, in the position of tail end Charlie, here's Dick Smith and the stamp. They're not fast, but they serve a good purpose. The idea being is that you're building on skills and experience. You just don't throw somebody into a P51 Mustang. You've never flown before? All right, we'll give you some of the basics, then we'll slap you into Mustang. Congratulations, you're a fighter pilot. It didn't work that way. You had to go through a lot of training because we wanted to make you the best fighter pilot that you could be, or for that matter, bomber pilots, which is a totally different skill set. It'd be really bad juju to go and smack something with this airplane. So they zigzag because visibility over the nose pretty much is non-existent. How about giving all of our pilots a big wave here? Mark Tedeschi, Tim Trimble, Christian Kapler, Neil Bachman, and Dick Smith. There he is. There's Dick. He's face down good. These people put a lot of time, effort, and money into these airplanes.
Susan, the C-47 behind you.
When you look at them, take a lot of
It's gonna
pictures.
drop people.
But please don't touch the aircraft. Always ask
It's gonna drop
the
them right by the
pilot.
center.
And I'm sure that if you walked up to the pilot and asked them
I know
about
this from
the
experience
history
having done this
of their
show.
aircraft, they would be more than happy to tell you all kinds of tall tales regarding their particular aircraft.
One more.
All right, everybody, from the right, here comes PLACID LASSIE. This is going to be a WWII run, wind drift indicator. And last but not least, here comes Dick Smith. The idea is that as PLACID LASSIE goes across here, they're going to drop a couple of streamers. They call them wind drift indicators. They pop purple smoke. And what they're going to do is they're going to come across the field. The jump master is going to kick two of those WDIs out the door. And then they're going to watch where they end up. Gives them an idea where the parachuters will be jumping out from. They're too far. Looks like a pretty good drop. Go around one more time. All right, they're going to go and they're taking a look around. They're going to line up where they want to be. And then the first stick of jumpers is going to have 7 jumpers coming out here very shortly. Keep those cameras rolling. Here comes PLACID LASSIE, the first stick, courtesy of the World War II aerial demo team. Wait for it. Okay, here we go. Should be 7 coming out the door. Steering. These are not sport parachutes by any means. So the maneuverability is very limited on these chutes. Hey, by the way, want to let you know, they can hear you right now. There you go. Let's raise the roof, everybody. Let's let them know how much you appreciate it. Don't forget to wave and cheer and make all kinds of noise. They can hear you right now. This is Michela Cersaluti, Andrew Kristofic, Jorge Rivaldo, Mario Silva, Armando Zepeda, Gene Krupa, Travis Millhouse. All right, here we come. Okay, we got one down on the other side of the runway. He's all right. Here come the rest of them. We got 2 down. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. There's number 7. Everybody's safe on time. But it's hard work, too. There is a lot about skydiving and jumping out of airplanes that you really need to know and know well.
Your name, Jeff?
Coming around, the pass number 3, PLACID LASSIE. Now, the master jump master here is Henry Viswat III. The onboard photographer on the airplane is his son, Henry Viswat IV. Our drop zone safety officer, Steve Minot, and the malfunction officer, Drew Hodges. Here comes PLACID LASSIE. On the last stick, we have Doug Jessup, Tom Sadowski, Mark LaRoche, Jake Stottlemyre, Jason Romero, and the jump master, Keith Harriet. Jump masters, we've got 6 jumpers away. We've got lots of open parachutes. Life is good.
I'm a fool.
We'll get the hockey talk. Oh, where are you?
Once again, they do have steering capabilities, but it's not like a modern parachute. Ladies and gentlemen, they can hear you. Raise the roof.
These are supposed to be like what, like parachute tubes?
We have one down, two down.
All right.
Three. Oh, he's going to be close. Look at this. There's 4. All right. 5, 6, and 7. Everybody's safely on the ground. How about a big round of applause for the World War II aerial demo team.
I don't think that's a box.
Well done, guys.
It's
And
piece of
there's
parachute.
PLACID Lassie behind us there. She's going to be coming in for a landing in just a second. Here comes PLACID Lassie. Oh, here comes PLACID Lassie again. Check this out. This is Bud Cortese going by in his airplane. Followed by Gavin Nagel over there. Kevin Russo going by, John Mazur on his tail. This should be Nick Cerrone Jr. here. Followed by Pat Sampson. These are the Jersey Jerks. Notice, they are also doing the little zigzags, once again, because the visibility over the nose of this airplane is virtually non-existent. So you got to swing the tail a little bit, see over the nose to make sure you're not doing something as simple as running off the runway, or in this case, like you said, a taxi. PLACID Lassie is coming around over the landing gear in just a moment. Because of the wind conditions today, we are going to have slightly longer taxi times than we have experienced when the wind was coming from different directions. So we ask that you bear with us. And while you're sitting there waiting for things to happen, don't forget to stay hydrated. And I hope you got plenty of sunblock on. Definitely keep that sunblock on. There are few things more miserable in life than to have a really bad sunburn. And right now, you may not think it, but that ultraviolet light, which causes sunburns, is coming right through these crowds and is cooking us right this minute. So if you've got sunblock on, you're in good shape. Now the demonstration team has gathered up all of their equipment, and pretty soon they're going to be heading back across. I'm sure they will have a very interesting debrief session.
That feels good taking that off the back. All that weight on it.
All I know is with all that gear and everything that they're carrying, it looks very, very heavy.
Still saying sun, but with it the way it was.
Of course, during the D-Day invasion, our paratroopers were probably carrying a lot more equipment as well. Coming in from the right, PLACID LASSIE looks to be on short final. They'll be touching down here soon. Oh, here comes PLACID LASSIE again. Check this out. This is Bud Cortese going by in his airplane. Followed by Gavin Nagel over there. Kevin Russo going by, John Mazur on his tail. This should be Nick Cerrone Jr. here. Followed by Trent Sampson. These are the Jersey Jerks. Notice, they are also doing the little zigzags, once again, because the visibility over the nose of this airplane is virtually non-existent. So you gotta swing the tail a little bit, see over the nose to make sure you're not doing something as simple as just running on the runway, or in this case, I should say, the taxi. PLACID LASSIE is coming around looking landing here in just a moment. Because of the wind conditions today, we are going to have slightly longer taxi times than we have experienced when the wind was coming from different directions. So we ask that you bear with us. And while you're sitting there waiting for things to happen, don't forget to stay hydrated. And I hope you got plenty of sunblock on. Definitely keep that sunblock on. There are few things more miserable in life than to have a really bad sunburn. And right now, you may not think it, but that ultraviolet light, which causes sunburns, is coming right through these crowds and is cooking us right this minute. So if you've got sunblock on, you're in good shape. Now the demonstration team has gathered up all of their equipment, and pretty soon they're going to be heading back across. I'm sure they will have a very interesting debrief session.
That feels good taking that off the back. All that weight on it.
All I know is with all that gear and everything that they're carrying, it looks very, very heavy.
Still saying sun, but with it the way it was.
Of course, during the D-Day invasion, our paratroopers were probably carrying a lot more equipment as well. Coming in from the right, PLACID LASSIE looks to be on short final. They'll be touching down. Well, I was hoping they were going to taxify us, but Air Boss
I'm sorry, bro.
Greg Whitmer decides, hey, you guys be better off on the other side.
Yeah, it's all good.
See, the C-47 has very large wings, and there are lots of things here to hit. And if you hit things with the wings, well, it generally upsets a lot of people, especially the crew chief, because now the crew chief's got to get together people to help repair the aircraft. So we take the long way, but the safe way. As you can see, Placid Lassie will have no problems getting back there.
I put some on before I did too.
Now the Jersey Jerks are down there off in the distance. What they are doing is their engine run-ups. They're going to advance the throttle. They're going to check both ignition systems. One of them is testing smoke.
The other air show.
They're also going to run through carburetor heat if they have it. Some aircraft do, some aircraft do not.
But it can.
They're also going to check the propeller to make sure that that is working properly. The ignition systems, especially, each of these aircraft are equipped with 2 fully independent ignition systems, so that if one of them happens to decide to take a vacation, the airplane engine keeps running at least long enough to get you to a home base where you can get the aircraft repaired.
Strap twisted.
CORSAIR's gonna. Don't say that.
It doesn't say anything about rain forecast.
As long as it doesn't rain until the air show doesn't care.
I looked again and it's like, it doesn't say anything.
Yes.
Placid Lassie has crossed over, heading toward the ramp area, and now the Jersey Jerks will take to the runway as the World War II demonstration team comes back home. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our World War II Airborne Demonstration Team. Thank you very much, guys. We do appreciate it. On the takeoff roll, here come the Jersey Jerks. You'll hear a deep rumble. That's the actual sound of the engine. That rapping sound you hear, the hooks you hear, that's the sound of the propeller tips breaking the speed of sound. It sounds great, but they're actually losing thrust because of it. Propellers just don't work good. when they're spinning in excess of the speed of sound. Typically, in flight, they'll pull the throttle back and stop making noise. But instead, what they do is they pull it back and utilize that thrust to try to save on fuel. However, for air show demonstrations, they love to keep it up and make a fair bit of sound. All right, here comes PLACID LASSIE. Get your cameras and your camcorders and everything ready, people, because they're going to make a lot of thunder as they go by. From the rear and the right, here come the Jersey Jerks. Now I want to point out something very interesting to you here. While the Jersey Jerks are repositioning, and so is PLACID LASSIE. When you get up to PLACID LASSIE, take a look at the wing. Take a real close look at the wing. And then later on, when the Jersey Jerks land, and all those AT-6s are parked out there, take a look at the wings. They're identical, except for the size. I do believe there may have been some shenanigans going on between Douglas Aircraft and North American Aviation. But back then, if you had something that worked, the idea was to go and get it into production by as many people as possible, because numbers were important back then. The idea is to go and build the stuff faster than the enemy can ruin it. Coming around from the right into trail formation, here come the Jersey Jerks. The sound you're listening to is the R1340 radial engine, generating about 600 horsepower. Here they come. We believe this is going to be the Arrowhead formation. Our Jersey Jerks are Kevin Rousseau, John Mazur, Gavin Nagel, Buzz Cortese, Craig Sampson, and Nick Zeroli Jr. If the Zeroli name sounds familiar to it, well, that's because his dad, Nick Zeroli Sr., a very accomplished model aircraft designer. Gentlemen, up next, the Jersey Jerks with the Missing Man. By the age of 19, he had his commercial, instrument, multi-engine, and instructor ratings. This man loves to fly. Coming back around from the right. He joined the United States Air Force Reserve when he was 22 years old. And has amassed a tremendous number of hours. I'm guessing it's probably up around 15,000 hours by now. SNJ. This is the Navy version of the 816 Texas. In a loop right here. Here's the hard part. All the G's are building up. The second loop. And this is old Kate. Kevin Rousseau coming back in. Hesitation roll. I know what you're thinking. Fast Eddie, did they use Coming from the right, the FG-1D Corsair, stand music at the controls. Looks good, Stan.
Perfect choice. This is a fun airplane to fly. This is a wonderful airplane.
You know, Stan, I hate when that happens.
new planes are circling over that ridge. There's a new flight of about 15 or 20 of them coming in now from the south. There's been a lot of talk about the Japs going underground. Just exactly what does this mean? Well, Bob, it's almost unbelievable. Everything on Eagle here is underground. Nothing I have seen so far during the time I've spent on this island has been above the ground. The balloon has had to bring the Japs out of every uncontrolled box, but it did take a look at. And there were lots of them. And there'll be lots more before this is over, no matter how many times a show we pour in here. From Suribachi's 500-foot elevation, enemy mortars hold the entire island in range. Slowly, the Marines push forward up Mount Suribachi.
I'm thinking now we're at Mexican food for I'm ready to put the air conditioner.